text that Dr. Bishop, our Bishop lifted that gives so much comfort to me, and I pray that it will give you comfort. It comes from the book of St. John, chapter number 14, verses 1 through 3. And you know those words, they are iconic words. Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house there are many mansions, many rooms, and if it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you, and if I go, I will come again to receive you unto my own, that where I am, there you may be also. For these fleeting moments, I would like to tag this text with the sermonic consideration, a lesson before dying. It is written, it's the title of a book written by Gaines. Mr. Gaines wrote this book called Lesson Before Dying, and I believe that it's very appropriate for such a time because Dad taught a lot of lessons. Now don't be looking for a shout and all of that. I'm just going to talk to you. Amen.
Amen.
A lesson before dying. One thing about my dad is that he was in tune to teaching lessons.
Amen.
He taught lessons no matter where he was. He always had a story to tell.
Yeah.
Sam Minor, Red, Blue, all of y'all from 1969 who lived in Pine Bluff, Arkansas and traveled to Indianapolis, Indiana. Dad was ran out of the South because he led a protest because they would not allow blacks to eat at the counter.
Right.
And so he led a protest. The Klan came and said that we want to kill him. So he left Pine Bluff, Arkansas, came to Indianapolis, went unsaved. And he had Aunt Sadie and all of the family there. When he got here, he was a musician. And he ran the circuit for a while. And one thing about Dad is that his music took him to all kinds of places. He became an alcoholic for a while. And you know the story. Brother Bigby came to his house. You've heard it, I'm sure, many times. And at that place, he invited Christ into his life after going to hear Reverend A.C. McClendon preach that sermon, "The just shall live by faith." It was that sermon that Reverend McClendon preached that led him to Christ. Subsequently, founding of Worthy Temple Church with $832. They bought one single property, and then they just started buying property all around. And after that, they amassed the whole block. Then God sent Reverend Thomas McClendon, who took that church from where it was to where it is today. And Dad needed a job. It was Uncle A.C. and Uncle Thomas McClendon that went to Rock Island Refinery, got him a job, working there at the refinery. Dad understood the value of friendship and the value of serving. He was not an intellectual in the light of how he would call them. He did not do a lot of pretension. He was who he was and was authentic in that expression. And that is one thing about Dad that I wanted to share with you. He accepted people no matter where they came from. And so when we look at this text in St. John, we look at a text where Jesus has told his disciples that he had to go away. And this text gives us three profound lessons that we can take with us, family, today that exemplify what God and what Dad was like. Well, the first thing we need to know is that Dad had profound faith. The text says, "Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me." Do you realize my father always talked about going to heaven? And it took a faith that was just more than a trivial, more than a slight type of faith, but a faith that would not shrink in the name of that hymn. It was a faith that said that despite the odds, you can make it.
Yeah.
Dad had a profound faith. He was working at Rock Island Refinery one day, and he was a part of an industrial fire. He fell 20 feet to the ground. And that's how he injured his back. For a long time, he did not work. And so it was the Assembly Church that would gather their pennies and their dollars and their resources together to make sure we had food to eat. We were living in the inner city amidst violence. Dad did not stop there, but he went throughout the community preaching to drug dealers, telling them to come to Christ. And I remember one day, as we talk about this profound faith, I remember one day, it was one Christmas, we had no Christmas toys. There was no Christmas tree, but we got a knock at the door from the Phillips Temple Assembly Church. And the Ministerial Alliance had gotten together to make sure we had a Christmas that year.